Hello to everybody out there in airgun world. My name is Charlie Frear. I have a company called Georgia Airguns. I sell high power PCP air rifles. I custom tune each gun. I power tune the internals, and I do a 7-step accurizing on every barrel. I'm more of a boutique shop. I sell maybe 1 or 2 guns a week, which allows me to spend a lot of time on each gun, each customer, get everything the way it should be. Okay, I'd like to give you a quick tour of my shop. Anyway, let's start out with the American Eagle. It's beautiful. It represents America and the power that we possess. I love it. This is my my gourmet rock and roll collection, my 1100 watt stereo system. Here's some pictures of my family and I as my son, an all-county, all-conference kicker in high school, college football player. I'm not normally a drinker, but Budweiser put on the greatest commercial of all time. They showed it one time during a Super Bowl of the Clydesdales paying reverence to the fallen towers of 9/11. Greg LeMond was one of the greatest cyclists of all time. I used to race bicycles. I like to keep that picture in here. He said he welcomed the pain. When he won this time trial, he had to welcome the pain to win it. And that was inspirational to me. All right, we'll step over here. I was a Miami Beach firefighter for 26 years. That's the fireman's prayer right there. This is the class that I came on with. This is in reverence to my 343 brothers who died on 9/11. I'll never forget it. All right. Here's just, display of all the different cartridges. I grew up in Florida. There's a gator, just a little bit more decoration. I use nitrogen to fill the guns. It's a great way to go. You couldn't give me a compressor. This thing's quiet. It's clean. It's dry. It just works great. I'm super happy with it, okay? Here's a little display case with some spare stuff. Here's a new Great White. It's the only way to go on a portable tank. It's the largest. It's got a great valve system. It's the way to go. And that's my shop. I get to spend some time in here working on the guns. I made it very comfortable, and I enjoy my time in here. I enjoy, when I do a power tune, it's just like what you would do to a racing motor. I go through and I make it so the air moves through the gun a whole lot better. I do not go in and jack up the reg pressure. I rebuild the reg. I fine tune the reg, but it's still the same factory pressure. And my guns do get more powerful after my work, and I'm pretty well known for it. Here's one of my power tune air rifles. This is a Cricket 2 non-tactical. It has a WSA stock. The Cricket has a adjustable hammer spring adjuster on the back, real easy to change the velocity. It's got the full-length shroud, and this is the non-tactical because it only has a tube, it doesn't have a bottle. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my test scope. I like the Citron line, especially the S-Tac. Citrons are proven for real good durability. The glass quality in this is equal to my $750 Zeiss Conquest, and it's on my website. I did a last light test comparing the Citron S-Tac to the Zeiss Conquest, and I found the optical clarity was exactly the same. And I feel that trumps everything, but these also have a great reticle. They focus down to 11 yards. I sell a lot of them, and everybody that I've sold one to has been very happy with this scope. So I have one that I use from gun to gun to gun to do my test shooting, and it spoils me because it has great optics. So I'm gonna mount this up. I've already power tuned this gun and shot it. I haven't done the test target yet, so I'm not sure exactly which pellet it likes, but everything I test with is made by JSB, whether it's a JSB label, an Air Arms label, or an FX label. I only use JSB, and these guns will always like at least one of those pellets, one of the weights. Like on the 30 cal, there's a 44 grain and there's a 50.1. I test with JSB and FX, and it's going to like one of them really good. It always turns out that way. So where we are now is this is my tool shop, my overall shop. This end is more air gun related. This is the area that I do all my dremmeling, my work to get the air to flow through the gun better. I have a drill press for certain operations. I have my grinder and my wire wheel, And there's a whole bunch of things that I do to the gun that I don't like to disclose, because it took me about 8 years to get to my gun shooting the way they do. And there's a lot of little things that I do that just make the air move through the gun a whole lot better. And this is where a lot of that takes place. And it works out really good. These are oak benches that I put an oak top, a flat oak top on, because they had holes in it for woodworking, but these things work great. They make my life a lot easier. I have a padded floor. It's about a ½ inch thick. It makes my life a lot easier because I'm not getting any younger. But this is my setup, and my customers have been very happy with the work that I give them, and it seems to be reflected on Airgun Nation. I'm rather proud of that, because it's not about just the bottom line. It's about providing a quality product at a fair price and standing. But to me, the most important thing is I add a lifetime reseal warranty to all the guns I sell, and that speaks a little bit about what I do to them, how I stand behind them, and how I back up my customers if they ever need my help. Okay, so what I'd like to show you, this is the test target that I use here at Georgia Air Guns. I name the pellet that's used and the 5 velocities per group, okay? I also have a checklist for each gun. My minimum standard for accuracy is I have to be able to cover the 5-shot group with my highly scientific method of just the tip of my pointer finger, okay? If it can cover the entire hole, I'll ship the gun, okay? But most of my guns leave here with groups that are so small that I can cover them with the tip of my pinky finger. That's rather typical. And I'll get a target in a minute to show you that. This is my bench. This is my shooting situation. I have my Pro Chrono chronograph here. I have my lighting system. And out there's where my 40-yard target is. I simply open the garage door and I shoot at my 40-yard target. I tend to try and shoot either early in the morning or late in the day when there's very little wind. I like to eliminate environmental factors so I can determine the true accuracy of the gun. Because everybody likes to get a gun with little tiny groups on their test car. All right. So let's go on and look at something else. See here, this is all my spare inventory. I've got these are all my pellets. I've got spare stocks. I've got spare a lot of stuff. Right here is my spare cricket inventory. You're looking at over $10,000 worth of parts. Yeah, I know it seems a little silly, but you can't get this stuff at Home Depot, okay? Here's a target that I shot for a 22 Cricket 2 Tactical. Here, I shot 2 of them because I wanted to keep this, but you can see what I'm talking about. Here's the JSB Hades 15.89 and 957. There's a 5-shot group, and I can cover the entire group with the tip of my pinky finger. Here is the FX 18.1 and the JSB 18.1. I can almost cover the entire group with the tip of my pinky finger. Same with this group, but definitely can easily cover them with the tip of my pointer finger. That's the accuracy that I demand. My customers appreciate. I'm not a high volume dealer. I sell 1 or 2 guns a week, and I like it that way. It allows me to spend a lot of time with each gun, with each customer. I set up the triggers as they desire. I do a lot of things to make my customers happy. One of the things that I do is after I test a gun, I put a piece of tape right down the middle of the needle, and it stays in my shop for at least 2 days, at least 48 hours before I ship it. Because every once in a while, after I work on a gun, you know, maybe I shaved an O-ring going back together and I get a leaker. It's rare, but it happens. But I want to correct it here before my customer has to deal with it and I have to eat shipping and all that. It's just worth it to spend the extra 48 hours.
Okay, so what was your first air gun?
My first air gun was a 22 caliber Cricket Generation 1 PCP. I bought it from Wild West Air Guns. I eventually, when I moved up here, I bought that first Cricket just before I moved up here. The owner of Wild West Air Guns needed my help, so I told him, hey, I retired from the Miami Beach Fire Department. I said I'd be happy to be a part of it, and so about roughly more than a year after I went to work for him, he sold it, and then I went off on my own. By then, I had a 25 Cricket of my own, and I started carrying the crickets, taipans, and airgun technology guns.
So you skipped the whole Springer thing.
Yeah, I've never been involved with Springers.
And then how did you get into specifically tuning? Like, what was your first venture? Was it your specific cricket that you owned, or was it a customer's?
I used to race go-karts, okay? And you would do anything to pick up 1/10 of a second per lap. So, I started reading on the forums about doing this and doing that. And I started doing this and doing that, and my guns started to improve. And then I came up with my own tuning improvements, and my guns got even better. So really, it was just, I just wanted to get the most out of my air guns. And the Cricket platform, more than any other gun, allows me, the way it's configured, it allows me to get the most out of the air movement inside of the gun. And so I'm partial to crickets for that reason, because after I work on them is where I see the most improvement out of any gun that I've sold. Yeah.
And then do you do any air gun hunting at all?
Yes, I do a little bit. Wife doesn't allow me to shoot any of the squirrels in the immediate yard right here, but I'm allowed to go out back and shoot something if I want to. But
and I see you have a deer here. Looks like you took that.
I shot that deer in northern Mexico. Probably, let me see, what's the date? December 2004. It's about 18 years ago. It ate real good, put it that way. But that's the only deer I've ever killed. I'm just as happy to see a deer walk by. I like to bird hunt more than anything, but yeah.
And one last question. So what other than the caliber gun crickets, what other platforms do you provide here?
I have the airgun technology. I have Airguns in stock. They're proven to be very reliable. A friend of mine in Miami, a high school buddy of mine, he has a trapping business, and he also has a guide business called Cold-Blooded Adventures. And he takes people out to hunt iguanas, because South Florida is overrun with the green iguanas, along with pythons. And so he takes people out to hunt those. I sold him one of the very first 30 cal Airguns that I've ever sold, and he's had it for over 2 years, and he uses it 2 to 3 times a week. The only problem he ever had with it is the air bottle came a little loose. The air leaked out. We figured it out over the phone. He hand tightened it. That's been the only problem. So it's a great platform. It's really reliable. It's hard to beat.
And then out of the caliber gun crickets, what's your preferred model and caliber?
Oh boy. I live on 43.5 acres, so I don't have to worry about, power. I like power, so my favorite's going to be the 30. It hits like the hammer of Thor. I like the non-tactical over the tactical. I just like it's a little bit more sleek. But to each his own. The tactical has the bottle. You get more shots. But the non-tactical get like 35, 40 shots on the regulator. If you get to shoot that many shots in a hunt, you've had a heck of a great hunt. So I would say that would be my preferential gun, is the 30 cal Cricket 2 non-tactical after I power tuned it. So if you look back towards the shop, you can see this is 40 yards right on the money. I measured it, and that's where I test at. I always test at 40 yards. I can make any gun look good at 20. I think testing a gun at 20 yards is a joke. So anyway, that's what I test at 40. So what I have here is I have a 25 cal Cricket 2 that I'm going to get set up with the velocity and get it sighted in. And I'm going to load a magazine with the FX 25.4. Then I'm going to do the same with the JSB 25.4. All right, now I'm going to put the JSB King 25.4 grain in the other magazine. This Cricket WSA stock, it holds one magazine inside the stock. Now it's a fair bit windy out there, and that will affect the groups. So I'm going to probably go for a higher velocity setting to help offset the wind effect on the pellet drift. So let's go in with the 25.4 JSB King. Now, a little trick to getting the magazine to index on the Cricket. You saw me put the magazine and close the main cocking lever. The trick to getting it to index is to go back to the magazine knob and go up, forward, and down. It's a very small movement, and that puts it in the indexing position. So right now, I'm going to sight this gun in and set up the hammer spring. Okay, we're at 1,025. I'm back it off just a little bit. I didn't hit the cardboard, so I got to play with it a little bit. No. That time I hit. So now I got to adjust my scope. Okay. What's going on here? Okay. A little low still. Now I gotta make an adjustment to this. I haven't finished the tuning on this gun. Still a little low. It's dead on. Okay. We're at 1,020 feet per second. I've got the gun sighted in. All right. Well, here we are. We're out back on my my property. I'm on a total of 43.5. I have 40 acres out back. I'm in the process of thinning the woods and making it all look like this. But you can see my big, beautiful oak trees, and it's pleasant out here. Hear coyotes at night, and crows and crickets. Coyotes and crickets at night, and crows and squirrels in the morning. I like it out in the country. Anyway, here's my 22 Cricket Standard that I already sighted in. We got a target down range at about 30 yards, I'd say. I'm gonna shoot one group, and then we're gonna change camera position. Okay. I'm not on the best of rest right here, but I'll probably hit it. Low. I'm gonna go a little, take it up a little bit. Open it up a little bit. Low. As you can see, this isn't what I'm used to shooting in the shop, but when you're out hunting, it's never going to be perfect. So I'm trying to deal with a little bit of shakiness here. Okay, I'm getting close to getting it right on the money. Still a little bit. Yeah, we're about there. Okay, so I'm going to reload the magazine, and we'll do some more shooting. Okay, final focusing of the scope. There's one. Two. Three. Four. All right, there's a 5-shot group off a shaky rest and in the wind. All right, so I'm gonna turn over to shooting. This is some of my fellow Georgia transplants from Miami. I have Christian and Richard. Christian and Richard, Bena aquí, por favor.
Hey, Charlie.
Hey, good to see you, man.
Good to see you, man.
How's my Spanish?
It is excellent. It's very good.
It's gringo redneck, isn't it?
It's very good. You can tell you've been out of Miami for a while, but
yeah,
you know.
Yeah. By the way, my wife is half Cuban, and it's her lower half, okay? Except when she gets mad, it turns into her upper half, because she says things to me in Spanish, and I know it's not good.
That's where you learn the good words.
Yeah, right.
Now let's say the truth here. Now, was she or was she not impressed by that Cuban flan I brought you?
Oh man,
If you left her any, I don't know. Did she ever even get to taste that?
Maybe. Christian was nice enough. He's been over multiple times, and he's bought a couple guns for me, and Richard bought a gun for me because of Christian. But anyway, Christian, as a good Cuban would, he made me some homemade flan, and it's a Cuban cultural dessert, and it was fantastic.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Yeah, well, you know, it's good to be here. Always good to be here. I enjoy being in your little part of Georgia here.
Yep.
Yeah, and, thank you for the invite.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you.
Absolutely. We always actually been talking about coming out for a while, because we absolutely like, you know, the work you do. The guns, the caliber guns are A-okay, and I mean, I still have the original guns I bought from you, and they're still shooting great. Excellent.
Great. I'm glad to hear it. And Richard owns a 22 caliber Uragan compact, and that gun is living proof. I've shot some of the very smallest groups with that very small barrel gun, and it's amazing. It shoots a 15.9 at about what, 820?
Yeah.
Yeah, just little tiny groups, really deadly accurate. So barrel length doesn't have a darn thing to do with accuracy, and that gun proves it.
Yeah, print some really tight, some really nice holes.
Yep.
Really tight.
Yep, good. Okay, you guys ready to try some shooting?
Oh, heck yeah.
Okay, all right, since I shot the left and the middle group, you shoot a group, and then Richard shoots a group.
I'll let him go first.
Okay, whoever shoots the smallest group is the king from Miami. Okay, unless you got a better title.
All right, whatever you say. We're good.
All right, here we go. Richard, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, you gotta just cock it back and go forward and shoot it. Wait, you didn't get it all the way. I don't think you did.
Yeah. Maybe got it all the way.
Okay, hold on. We're gonna have 2 pellets in there. Oh, you went so quick. I didn't realize it. Okay, let's just shoot it with the one, and then we'll put the magazine back in. That's my mistake, not Richard. All right, good. Okay, cock it back for me. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a real simple rundown on how to put a Cricket magazine in. I always roll it in from the left. Yep, I got it. I always roll it in from the left, and I'm holding the magazine knob back. The cocking lever's all the way back. I roll it in. Wait, hold on. There we go. I roll it in. I push. I close the main cocking lever. Something I'm not used to doing out here in the field, but I'll get it. Okay, now the trick to getting the gun to index properly is to go up, forward, and down with the magazine knob. Now, I'm not sure if we're on pellets. Hold on. Okay, let's. Now we got a pellet in the, it's ready to shoot. We got a pellet in the chamber. Okay, Richard, please finish your 5-shot group, and then we'll give Christian a chance.
Pressure's on, Richard.
Yeah.
Mess this up, you're out of here.
Yeah. That's it. There you go. Smooth and neat. All right, let's go down and check out Richard's group. So this is my sight-in group. This is my group. This is Richard's group. Right now, I think I'm clearly in the lead, folks. Right now, we have Christian shooting his group, and he's under a lot of pressure. There is a little bit more wind. I might have put in some trick pellets, but he's bearing down and he's getting serious. And I'm not trying to put any additional pressure on him. But he knows the title is at stake.
I put some sand in action.
Oh, you have a little sand in the action?
That one there just took me out of the game.
Oh, really? All right.
All right.
Let's go down and take a look at his group. Well, Christian had a pretty good group going until I started putting a little pressure on him, but it's close. It's close to, it's still a good group. Yeah, especially from a guy from Miami, it's a pretty good group, okay? But anyway, I think we should put the cameraman on test. What do you think? Okay, folks. Right here we have Tristan. He's going to try and better all of us. He's not from Miami, by the way.
I gotta get serious about this.
Okay, there's one.
Trigger's a nice trigger.
The squirrels think they have a reprieve today.
Oh, that was it. I just lost.
Okay, folks, we have Tristan's group right here. I would say,
I think you're the winner, buddy.
yeah, but I'd say it's a three-way tie between you guys. Yeah, it's that's Tristan's group. That's
Christian. No,
that's
yours.
mine. Where's Christian's?
Christian's right there.
Christian and Richard.
And that is mine.
Who's got second place? I think it's Richard.
Yep. Even said.
Oh man, you came in last again?
Again.
Today?
Today. All right, so we have the Miami Cuban connection here. Now, Charlie, he's not all flat out Cuban, but he's Cuban by injection. Yep. And that's good enough. He's a brother.
Richard, what do you think?
Hey man, you know, like we say in Spanish, embarrado.
Is that good or bad?
It's smeared.
Smeared.
Okay, that works. Well, folks, we had some fun out here today. It was a beautiful day. The wind laid down, and we got to do a lot of shooting. And I hope these guys come back again, and we can have some more fun. And maybe for once, Christian will win something, you know. But
most definitely.
Yeah. But I guess that's going to be it for today, and we look forward to the next time, and have fun, and most of all, be safe out there in airgun world. Thank you.
And Charlie, I wanted to say one last thing.
Yep.
I appreciate you. Thank you for having us here today. And if you guys are looking for specifically a caliber gun, there is no better place to get it than from Charlie at Georgia Airguns.
Okay, a check is in the mail.